right, this is the third worksheet dealing with topic 1, decimals, okay? So in this worksheet, we're kind of combining our adding and subtracting skills together. We still haven't gotten to any multiplication and division, but we're getting there. It's coming up in the next worksheet. So in our first question here, this is just straight skills, okay? We haven't gotten into any problem solving. I believe that's the very last worksheet right there. But in this worksheet, we have a combination of adding and subtracting, okay? We only have 12 questions, but our first one is addition. Now, I can either stack these all up like this and add down the rows all at the same time, putting in my zeros, or I can do it one at a time, okay? And I'm actually going to show both ways because I know that everybody is a different type of learner and we need to see it different ways. So the first way I'm going to do it is as a stack, and then we'll do it one at a time. So in this one, I'm going to put my decimal and I'm going to start with the thousands place. And I'm going to add down. 0 plus 0 plus 5 gives me a 5. 2 plus 0 plus 9 is going to give me 11. 1 plus 8 plus 0 plus 9 is going to give me 18. Carrying my 1. Now I'm on the other side of the decimal in the ones place. 1 plus 5 plus 9 plus 2 is 17. Carrying my 1. Okay, this is a 1 here too. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 is going to give me 6. Alright, so that's how you would do it if you like to add vertically as a stack. But if you like to do it more systematically, more algebraically, you would have done these two first. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here in the margin again, and I'm just going to do these two. Alright, so I'm going to put my decimal in my answer, and I'm going to add vertically starting with my hundredths place. Okay, so that's 2 places past the decimal. And I have 2 plus 0. Well, 2 plus 0 is 2. And my next place, the tenths place, 8 plus 0 is 8. Okay, now I'm on the other side of the decimal. I'm in my ones place. 5 plus 9 is 14. And then my last column is going to add up to 3. Okay, so if you're the systematic math person, you probably would have just added 2 numbers and then added in your third. Okay, and this is a more algebraic method of solving this problem. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the first way that I solved the problem. Just two styles of brain. Alright, so I'm going to put my decimal in my answer, and I'm going to add vertically down. 0 plus 5 is 5. 9 plus 2 is 11. 1 plus 8 plus 9 is going to give me 18. Now I'm on the other side of the decimal, and 1 plus 4 plus 2 is going to give me a 7, and 3 plus 3 is going to give me a 6. Look at this. No matter which way I solve it, I'm getting the same exact answer. Okay, so you can do it more in an algebraic style, or you can add all of your numbers vertically, like in a list if you're doing accounting. Either way is right. All right, the next one, I'm subtracting. So as you can see, I have more decimal place values in my second number. I can put my some fill-in zeros in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to subtract. First I'm going to put my decimal in my answer. And I can't take 0 away from 0. I can't borrow from a 0, so I have to come all the way over to this 4. I'm going to have to do a long list of borrowing. Okay, if you inherently know that the middle one's going to be a 9, the last one's going to be a 10, if you can do that borrowing that quick, don't pay any attention to how slow I did it, methodical. It's good if you can quicken up your math, tighten it up, especially because these problems are going to keep getting bigger and we don't want to be wasting time on the borrowing method. But then on the flip side, if you do it that methodically, that's okay too. That's the beauty of math. You can kind of work at your own pace and still get the same answer as everybody else, okay? Just might take you a little bit longer. 9 from 10 is 1. 2 from 9 is 7. 0 from 3 is 3, and 3 from 8 is 5. All right, so now we're on to number 3, and again it looks like I'm going to have to add some zeros in for my place values. My top number only goes to the tenths place, but my bottom number goes to the thousands, so I'm going to add 2 zeros so that I can subtract these, and then we will be almost done. We're almost done with this worksheet. So 9 cannot be taken away from 0, so I'm going to have to borrow, but again I have double zeros, so I'm borrowing all the way down to this 9. All right. So 9 from 10 is 1, 7 from 9 is 2, 7 from 8 is 1. Put my decimal in. 8 from 5 is 3. 5 from 7 is 2. So my answer is 23.121. All right, this one, our bottom number has a tens place. Our top number does not. I'm going to put that 0 in. I probably would have flip-flopped these. Okay, so 0 plus 7 is 7. I don't have to borrow. Drop down my decimal because I'm adding. Been subtracting for so long I almost forgot. That's going to be an 11, and then my last one's going to be 12. We already know from the last worksheet how to do these addition. They're the easy ones. It's the subtraction that are new. All right, I'm going to add a 0 to this one so that I can do some borrowing. 5 cannot be taken away from 0, so I'm going to borrow from the 3. 5 can be taken away from 10, and that will give me a 5. 6 can't be taken away from 2, so I'm going to take 1 from the 1. 6 can be taken away from 12, which is going to give me 6. 0 from 0 is 0. 2 from 4 is 2. And that makes sense. If you looked at those numbers logically, you probably kind of guessed your answer was going to be somewhere around 20. Again, I'm going to be doing some borrowing. Okay, 5 cannot be taken away from 0, so I'm going to borrow 1 from this 6. 5 can be taken away from 10, and it's going to give me a result of 5. 9 cannot take away from 5, so I'm going to have to borrow 1 from here and make this one a 15. 9 from 15 is going to give me a 6, and 3 from 4 is 1. All right. This one has 2 decimal places on the bottom, so let me put 2 more on the top. And 1 can't be taken away from 0, and I can't borrow from a 0, so I'm all the way over to the 2. And this is going to be a 10, make it a 9, and a 10. All right, so 1 from 10 is 9, 0 from 9 is 9. Cannot take 7 from 1, so I'm going to take 1 from this one. 7 from 11 is 4. And look, these numbers were pretty close together, so I knew my difference should be a pretty small number. Ooh, I got a tenths place in the top number and a hundredths place in the second number, so I'm going to add that 0. Oh, I'm adding this time. Almost a bad play. All right, so 0 plus 1 is 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. Drop down my decimal. 9 plus 0 is 9. And 7 plus 1 is 8. My answer is 89.51. We're going to have to add 1 more decimal place to this top one. I am subtracting, so it does make a really huge difference in this one. Can't take 2 away from 0, so I'm going to borrow. I can take 2 away from 10, and that's going to give me an 8. 0 away from 4 is 4. Can't take 3 away from 1, so I'm going to borrow. That's going to give me an 8. Drop down my decimal. 4 from 6 is 2, and 2 from 6 is 4. All right, last three on this worksheet. Okay, gonna have to add a 0 in this one. I am subtracting again. So let's go start with my thousands place. 1 from 0 can't do it. Gonna borrow. 1 from 10 is 9. Cannot take 5 from 3, so I'm going to borrow. 5 from 13 is 8. Cannot take 6 away from 0, so I'm going to borrow. 6 away from 10 is 4. Drop down that decimal. Can't take 7 away from 4, so I'm going to borrow. 7 away from 14 is 7, and then a 6. All right, the last two are addition, which is slightly easier. Gonna add a 0 to that top number. I could have flip-flopped them if I wanted to. It all just depends on how your brain works. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 7 is 11. Let me put that decimal place in. That's going to be 15, 5, and 4. Should be getting a hang of this pattern. If you're not, let me know because I need to give you some more worksheets before you work on to multiplication. All right, I added 2 zeros on this one. You could have flip-flopped it if you wanted to. Addition can be flip-flopped. All right, so let's start with this thousands place. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 8 is 8. 6 plus 1 is 7. Drop down that decimal place. 0 plus 6 is 6. And 3 plus 2 is 5. All right, that's it for this worksheet. If you're having any problems, snap a picture of your work and send it to me so that I can figure out where your problems are lying. All right, I'll see you guys next worksheet.